Hello boxing fans, right now I'm going to do a treble post-fight analysis, and that's Nathan Cleverly, Enzo Maccarinelli and Frankie Gavin. First I'm going to look at Frankie Gavin. Oh, I'm also doing the shoutouts at the end. First, Frankie Gavin, he started well. He's got very quick hands, very slick movement. Firstly I thought he was getting hit a lot when I first looked, but then when you look closely he seems to be slipping them shots, using his reflexes very well to evade the shots, and in fact not many of those shots were actually connecting at all. He proved himself to be a bit of a front foot counterpuncher tonight. He switched very well from body to head, and he ended in a KO to the body. It looked like a refreshed Frankie Gavin, but the question is, why? And I'll give you the answers. One, he moved back into his mama's house, so he was kept in check and stopped from going out, because unlike other boxers and people in this sport, when he gets bored he doesn't seem to just watch a film or go listen to some music or something. What he does is he actually just goes out on town. And yeah, he switched his trainers again, so he's back to his former trainer that he trusts. They work well together, and like the old saying goes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So he went back to him and they fixed what was broke, and what's not broke, they've kept it. So overall I think this was a good fight, good performance. But I think he should fight again. He needs to fight a few times this year. I think he needs another 3 or 4 performances this year. I think he needs to also make weight at £140, because he seems, in my opinion, just too small for £147. Okay, now so I'm going to move on, and I'm talking Enzo Maccarinelli. And you know, he still fights on after his dad died, and I think that was a very emotional fight there for him. He did well. He kept in check, finished the job, did business, made it count. And I've got to say, light heavyweight is the weight limit for him. He can make the weight limit well, and he's got great power at the weight division. And you know, anyone who's got skill, he can equalise any skill. He's got skill of his own, but he can equalise anyone's skill with his power at the division. You know, in round 1 Healy came out, and you know, this is what I like about some people. Some people come out and they do give it their best. They come out, they try, and they try to win. They go, I'm going to make the best of this situation. I'm getting paid no matter what. You know, he's probably getting paid about six grand, 7 grand. He came out and he went, right, I'm going to make this. I'm going to try and do this no matter what. So he came out, and he came out swinging, right? And he tried to win the fight. He did well. He didn't turn up just for the paycheck. He came to win. But Enzo was better. He was landing the combinations. He works well, you know, from the outside to the inside, and then he works the body. He switches from head to body really well. He's really good. I mean, Healy did land a few shots that was spare McPhilbin on, but Enzo was above that level. Even at cruiserweight, he's above that level. One of the first knockdown was quite good. It was a body shot, delayed reaction. The guy put his hand out and no, I'm not having any more. Went down to a knee. And then he was lucky that Enzo didn't hit him again, to be honest. He didn't really defend himself at that point. And then he went down, but he got back up, and then later on, obviously, more body shots, he went down again. And that was all that they said. But he earned his money, he did well. So moving on, what am I going to say overall about the performance? You see, I want Enzo to win the British title at cruiserweight, and then I wanted to move back down and fight Cleverly. I don't think he's got any future, you know, at cruiserweight. He's got to stay at light heavyweight. That's where he can do it. Maybe fight one guy. He needs to fight someone for, you know, an actual light heavyweight, boxer who's actually going to turn up and also try and win again. I mean, not a journeyman, someone who's actually going to try and who's got a respectable record, let's say. I want him to beat someone like that before he fights Cleverly, but I've got a feeling that'll be the fight that they do next. It'll be an all British money spinner, all Welsh money spinner. They'll fight in Cardiff. It'll be a big stadium. Okay, and lastly, the main event, and probably the worst fight of the night, to be honest. You know, this fight for Cleverly was very disappointing for me. In fact, the whole thing disappointed me. You see, the opponent, unlike the previous opponent, he didn't put up a good effort. And obviously he lost all 12 rounds by doing so. He showed why, you know, he should stick to psychiatric nursing, which he does as his day job, right? And forget being a top level boxer, because that business is not for him, you know. You know, Cleverly showed a range of skills. I'm trying to find some positives here. He did show a range of skills. He used the jab, closed down the distance well. He did use the body shots and the hooks well, but you know, the main deficit of his game, he's just got a lack of total power. Cleverly, he's got speed, skill, but no power whatsoever. You know, if he's lost every single round, he's going into the last round, and he needs to knock him out, you might as well just leave your seat, leave your ticket. You know, rip up your betting slip, because there's no way he's gonna upset the odds and knock the guy out in the final round. You know, at the highest level, the elite level, Cleverly is not ready at all. I don't know if he ever will be. You know, right now, he'll be beaten by Bernard Hopkins, who will just use experience to take him apart. He'll be outboxed by Dawson. You know, if he fought Cloud, I think that even though he got his ass whooped last week, he probably would go in there, use the wrong game plan, and get beaten up by Cloud. But that's right now, and you know, it's not tomorrow. Who knows what can happen tomorrow? I can't defend the guy because he was quite bad. Wasn't he? He was really bad. He couldn't stop a guy who wasn't even trying. But you know, it is what it is, and that's that. So what's he gonna do next? He's gonna fight Enzo Maccarinelli. That would be a good fight for me. I think that's a good all Welsh fight. It's a good money spinner. You know, I like that. I would like to see that fight. And then maybe he's got to get Beibut Shumanov to fight him. You know, Beibut's only had what 15 fights now, and he's not exactly a world beater in my opinion. I don't know how he got the world title in the first place, and I think a fight between them two will be really good. I think it'll be closer than. Well, that is saying. Let's hope that both of them turn up to fight. You know, make that fight happen. That's a good fight. I think that should happen. What else should we go? You know, I'm going to use the closing words on this now because I'm disappointed with Cleverly. You know, he is a rough diamond. He's got the skill, he's got the speed. He doesn't have any power, but you know, that's a major deficiency in his game. He just needs all that to be polished up. You know, put onto a nice pit of gold, and then sell him worldwide. That's all you can do for him. But you can only beat what's put in front of you. I think the major deficiency of the whole evening was they picked a guy who didn't try to beat Morat, who Cleverly outclassed as well. So they should have got an actual live body in there. Here's another guy, Jürgen Bremer. Get him in the fight. Give him an opportunity to fight. You know, you've got to put a live body in with Cleverly. I mean, Cleverly didn't look brilliant against Bellew, and like I said, he didn't look brilliant tonight. I mean, he won every round, but the opponent didn't make it a fight. So, you know, the fact that he didn't stop him for me is very disappointing. Very disappointing. Okay, I'm going to finish now, and I'm going to do the shout-out, post-fight shout-outs. Okay, shout-out to Marquinho210. You got the, you got one of them. I'm doing them all together, so I can't remember which one you do. Big Basher got one correct tonight. P-Dog got one correct. RG Boy got one correct. Mr. Connolly got this one correct. Mega Gallimore got one correct tonight, or maybe it's more. The Boxing Cult got this one right, and Julian Foster got this one right. Not many people actually got the Cleverly fight right, because everyone expected him to be stopped. You know, that's all I can say. So anyone who said that Cleverly wins, yeah, I've gave you the thing. Anyone who said stoppage, no. So have a nice week going up to next week's fights, and don't forget, post your predictions in the comments section, and you'll get a post-fight shout out.